Taking too long to make decisions can cause you to delay your potential success and joy in living, and there's likely a reason why you operate in this way. In today's minisode, I share 3 steps you can take to get to the place where you feel good about making a decision sooner and get on with enjoying your life. Hello, and welcome to the Connect podcast. This show is all about helping you connect to your soul's calling so you can take action on it. Because the sweetest success is a blend of discovering your purpose with the inner drive to bring it to life. I'm Sheila, health coach, lifestyle entrepreneur, and mom of 2, best known for my online wellness programs, mentoring, and self-love passion. Listen in for inspiring interviews, solo chats, and Q&A sessions that will move you past overwhelm towards what lights you up. Stop accepting good enough and go for your version of great in your health, business, and relationships. Let's get started. Hi, welcome to this Monday minisode where I share an insight designed to help you live into what lights you up this week. Making decisions. How do you feel about it? I've been in a position recently to be making a lot of different decisions. I created a lot of space this season so I could develop an app that I'm working on that you're going to be hearing a lot about soon. I have so many ideas and ways of serving that are designed to help women to really get clear and get ruthless with their self-care strategy. And it's something that has come up for me as I've been talking to people. It's just been a constant conversation about all the different things that are going on in people's lives that keep them from putting the extra time in for themselves. I mean, when you hear extra time, right? Like how do you feel about that? Who has extra time? That is a lot of the biggest challenge that people face. And that's why a strategy becomes incredibly important. So many things are vying for our time, our attention, our devotion. And the thing that really deserves the deepest amount of devotion first is our bodies. It's our unique body that we live in, our heart, our soul, our wellness. And no shame, because I've been there many years myself where I have needed to be juggling many different things, many different emotional things with family members, with my kids, with ideas that I have, things I've needed to let go of, and things that I needed to try and move into. And it all came down to trying to make a decision. And getting stuck in indecision is something that I am familiar with. Perhaps you are too. And as you listen, think about what one area of decision you are currently in right now. Maybe everything's smooth sailing and you're not making any big decisions. That's awesome. Maybe use this as fuel for future times where decision-making comes into play. But if you're thinking about something right now, if something comes to mind, just keep that in the back of your mind as you listen. Perhaps take some notes if you're able to, because I found that I, like many of us, can make things a lot more difficult than they need to be. And I can drag things out longer than they need to take as well. It's the decision-making process that is often a big root of that challenge. So when you consider something that you've been slow to decide on, there are 3 steps that I found really helpful to move forward one way or the other, whether it's a yes or a no or a later, because decisions aren't always yes or no. Decisions sometimes just involve planning, strategizing, scheduling to see how we can fit certain things in. I believe it was Oprah who said, we can have it all, just not all at once. And yeah, that has been a real comfort to me in the various seasons of my life, because as a manifesting generator in the human design spectrum, I love ideas. I have so many of them. And so decision-making becomes extremely important for me to keep myself on track and to keep myself focused. And the thing that I've noticed is when I've taken too long to make decisions, it also causes me to delay maybe some success that could be waiting for me, or just the joy of having made the decision. I just made a decision about some podcast plans that I have, and it was really, really simple. It involved some scheduling. But once I made the decision, I was able to have my assistant get all of the details out to the people who needed them. It kept things moving, and it allowed me to have my mind freed up to focus on the things that were very pressing for me right now, which is the app that I'm creating. And so what I wanted to share today was how you can also make progress in this area of your life, and so that you can start feeling good about making a decision sooner, so you can actually start enjoying your life, because life is filled with so many different things, and we all want more joy to help us move through. So here are the things I want you to consider. Think about that big thing, that big decision, whether it's something that you're currently working through right now, or maybe even if you don't have any big decisions to make, think about one that you have had to make and perhaps how it could have been a little different for you if you struggled with that decision. So the first thing I want you to do is think about, so as you're thinking about the most pressing or mind and soul consuming decision that you need to make, I want you to, if you can, close your eyes, if you're safe to do so, and get into your body. And I want you to put your right hand on your heart, and I want you to put your left hand on your belly. And I want you to take 3 deep breaths. So I'm going to guide you. And so if you're listening while you're driving, you can do this later. Just hit pause or just listen and save it for later. But if you're able to, and you have the time, just close your eyes, right hand on your heart, left hand on your belly. And I want you to take a deep breath in, starting with your belly and raising it all the way up to your chest, holding it, then releasing it slowly from your chest all the way down to your belly. I want you to do that one more time for a second time. And release. Then take another deep breath in. And release. Now I want you to ask yourself, while your eyes are still closed, what are the best and worst case scenarios regarding this decision? And know that you can't control all of the elements of risk or of various outcomes. This may be an investment you are looking at participating in. It may be deciding if some education or a course or a seminar or something that you are wanting to participate in is for you. It may be switching careers. It may be finally implementing that business idea that you've had. It may be a decision you need to make about a relationship. Just think about that. And think about what the best and worst case scenarios are. And I find it helpful to write things down. Some people don't, but I find when I write best and worst, underline them side by side, and then underneath them in columns, I just let it rip. So I invite you to do that. You don't have to do that right now because this is a mini-sode, but you can come back to this and really think about how will your life or the lives of others will be affected by the decision that you make. And then once you do that, the third step is act on it immediately. It may be the middle of the night when you're listening to this, so you may not be able to pick up the phone and make a call right away, but you can schedule it, put it on your calendar, you can plan it out. And if it is within a good time frame, you can make the call. You can send the email, you can click the buy button or the schedule button or whatever it is. And be prepared once you've made this decision to act consistently on this idea. If it's something that is a decision that is going to involve you continually putting time into something, like say it's joining a gym and you want to make a consistent plan to do that, schedule it out right away and make the decision, I'm committing to going to the gym on these specific days at these specific times to do these specific things. And also, what I find when this happens, once you take this action, once you've made the decision and you act on it, you're going to really receive such relief, because as you make this decision and you act on it, you're betting on yourself, you're trusting yourself, you're believing in your intuition to guide you. Now, I can say also from experience, a decision that you make, it may end up not being the right decision. Right? This is possible too. So understanding that is important. However, when we make the decision and we step into something, sometimes that is the exact thing that we need to do in order to pivot in a different direction. That has happened to me on a few occasions in my life as well. And that never would have happened. I never would have found that one thing that was so important for me to do or experience had I not made that first decision that may have not been the right one. So I invite you to do this exercise now and also at other times in the future where you find yourself feeling stumped with deciding on things. And you're going to find that overall you'll gain practice in making faster decisions. You can move through your life not being burdened by your mind being somewhere else because you're always mulling over something. I also want to share with you that, as I had mentioned, I have some more space this summer with the way I've planned things, and I have room for some more one-on-one clients. So if you want to gain traction in your health or your business goals, this is a container I've designed that includes 3 months of private coaching, 2 60-minute calls per month with Voxer support between sessions. And Voxer is a private encrypted messaging app that is a wonderful way for us to stay in touch. We cover anything from you moving to your next level, to integrating habits, upholding boundaries in the area of life or business that you most want to elevate. So often I'm walking with people through their self-care strategy. Much like we created a strategy about indecision right now, we can do for any kind of self-care practice that you are trying to instill, because that is what is going to give you so much fuel to do the things in your life and to show up in the way that you most want to show up. And we do this in a way that is filled with celebration, that is so gracious and open-hearted. And this type of container supports you in being consistent because there are consistent touch points for us to see where you're at, how you're moving forward, and also to address where you may be feeling stuck. So once you get to those places, you can actually then get the movement forward that you want because you're not doing it alone. And of course, celebrating moving forward is my favorite. So go to sheilabatello.com/apply to see the details, and you will also see it linked in the show notes of this episode. Have a fantastic day. I will see you on the next episode. Big blessings. Thank you so much for being here with me on the Connect podcast. If you like this episode, please share it with someone you think would enjoy it. Also, if you head over to iTunes to leave a review, I'd be so grateful. Let us know what your favorite parts were and what you'd like to hear more of. It will help us have a greater impact, elevating many more people to grow and succeed together. See you next time.